Hey everyone, it's Keldek here, and we're back with another DragonHeir Silent Gods video. We have another massive overhaul preview today. This one's covering combat, so we're going to jump straight into it. New battle mechanic, Elemental Bonds. When deploying 2 or more heroes of the same comp, you'll activate that comp's bond and trigger corresponding special effects in battle. Bonds are currently enabled for 7 comps, including Support, Summon, Frost, Rally, Wild, Dauntless, and Poison. For Wild skill dice rolls will recharge the exclusive skill. When recharge reaches 100, can be released to grant burst to allies for 12 seconds. With 2 units during burst, ally wild dice rolls +2. And with 3 units during burst, ally wild dice rolls are guaranteed to be the max value. Frost. When Frost reaches 5 stacks and deals damage, additionally inflicts cold on the target. With 2 units, Frozen lasts for 5 seconds. With 3 units, Cold lasts for 5 seconds. Inflict cold for 5 seconds to one target at battle start. Rally. At the start of battle, all rally allies gain 1 stack of rally. With 2 units, this effect triggers every 30 seconds afterwards. And with 3 units, this effect triggers every 20 seconds afterwards. Support. All allies gain a 30-second shield at battle start. With 2 units, it's a 10% max HP shield, and with 3 units, it's a 15% max HP shield. Summon. A powerful undead summoned unit will appear on our side, with its attributes affected by current resonance level. And with 2 units, it summons Dark Flame Phoenix. With 3 units, it summons a stronger Dark Flame Phoenix. Poison. When the poison debuff is triggered, a poison pool forms under the target of poison explosion, continuously dealing poison damage to nearby enemies. And with 2 units, poison pool success rate is 30%. With 3 units, poison pool success rate is 60%. Dauntless. Allied Dauntless heroes have a chance to guide the Thundercloud to perform coordinated attacks with each basic attack. Thundercloud strength is enhanced by resonance level and coordination attack frequency. With 2 units, Thundercloud has a 40% chance to perform a coordinated attack. With 3 units, Thundercloud has a 50% chance to perform a coordinated attack. Okay. So that's covering the 7 new comp skills or comp abilities. It's very similar to affinities, but it's getting rid of like the traditional 3-star and 5-star affinity levels. So you're no longer kind of locked into using Ice and Necrosis together for an entire season, for example, or Fire and Poison, Radiance and what was the other one? Radiance and Fire, for example. So it gives us a lot more freedom to be, and creativity, to be creative with teams and things like that and find the best possible combination for a specific area of content. So that's pretty cool. Role reclassification. Heroes that were once classified as defensive heroes have been merged into the support school and can jointly activate support comp bond effects. Okay, so there are no more defense units, so that's probably why there's no defense comp. So it'll just be your regular, like your Dauntless and then support. You're not going to have Dauntless, Defense, Thunderbolt, and support. And of course, in Season 1, I don't think there's any Thunderbolt. So, there is no more defense unit. That's cool. That'll help with your comp or support classes. Hero skill adjustments. Hero skill changes, buffs or nerfs. Some hero skills, effects, and forms have undergone changes, breathing new life into older characters and making them more suitable for the bond system. It just gives an example here. Level 1 Dragon of Death. I'm not really sure what that is. Sounds like Lawanis' skill, maybe. I actually just got Lawanis on my main account, so I'm not really sure. It's after 4 regular seasons and then 4 reruns of season 4. So I literally just pulled Lawanis like a week ago, and I have never used her. So, but that sounds like Lawanis' ultimate skill. Comp trait modifications. Rally, Frost, Wild traits optimized. Rally, a stackable buff. All rally stacks will be consumed when the carrier casts ultimate skill to enhance the current instance of ultimate skill up to 3 stacks. Okay. Frost, debuff at 5 stacks, deals 3% max HP cold damage. Extra damage scale with Frost hero's attack. Okay. Wild, roll a 6-sided die when casting a spell, adding 5% damage per dice roll point. New quality of life feature. Added a new team damage calculator plus real-time recommended formations for each stage available on the team interface. Auto raid optimization. No more ticket requirements. Auto raid tickets and challenge tickets have been removed. From now on, you can obtain multiple rewards consecutively with auto raid without having to worry about tickets. So that's cool. This is something I covered in my comparison video, where as you progress through resonance levels, you can run, your dungeon and farming stages, times 2, times 3, and times 4, I believe. If I recall correctly, it's at 40, 60, and 80. You'll unlock times 2 at 40, times 3 at 60, and times 4 at 80, at resonance level 80. So that's definitely a welcome change. I don't know how much it covers or it solves the stamina problem, because that's kind of a different problem. So when in the game you have your stamina, your bread, but then you also have the tickets that you need for auto battles, which is it was always easy to get around, especially if you're using BlueStacks. You're using you set up the auto click, and didn't really matter. But it's definitely a welcome change. I'm still hoping, and haven't heard anything yet in regards to stamina and how much stamina we're going to have. Is it still going to be as tight and kind of stingy as it's been the whole time? Will there be more stamina? So far, I do know that you can only buy 2 60 packs of stamina or bread with worm arrow every day, down from 4, even though they started, what was it, 50, 100, 100, and then 200 as it exists currently. And then on the Chinese version, you only have 50, and then you have 1 stack of bread you can get at 100, and that's it. So hopefully they add more ways to get more bread in game, or they give us more, or the recharge of bread is faster, because you can go 24 hours. I believe it actually takes 24 hours to go from 0 bread to 150 bread, and then after 150 for your bread reserve, that recharge rate is actually halved. So I believe in 24 hours you'll only get 75 additional bread in your reserve, which is really, again, this is one of the things that I've complained about in almost every one of my videos so far. The lack of bread, aka stamina, in this game has just been really bad. Honestly, it's one of the worst, if not the worst, in that regard, of any game that I've ever played. So I'm really hoping that this new version will address that and give us kind of more freedom to be able to farm more things and not be so restricted by stamina, because people have to have things to do in the game. When you get down to the other world stuff and the chief challenges and things like that, you have a lot to do, but that goes really quickly. So we'll see. We'll have to wait and see. I don't have any information on that right now, but again, stamina has always been my number one complaint about the game, by far, above anything else. And then second to that is the gear, the gear RNG, how bad that is, and you essentially just have to hit the lottery on gear, or your season is a wash. Especially if you're very competitive. You can be the most competitive player in the world. You can have all the best units. You can have them all Inspiration 5, and if you get worse gear drops than the next guy, you're screwed on competing for the end of season, because that guy just got luckier than you did in an RNG system. And there's really no way around it, because again, we're so limited by stamina or bread in the first place. So you have a finite amount of opportunity to improve that gear. Now, I do know the gear reclassification system and being able to forge your own gear and things like that, that is definitely a welcome change. So hopefully that helps alleviate those problems. But again, if we have to forge or farm for all these new materials in order to forge gear and things like that, but then we're also dealing with less stamina every day, or less bread available to us every day, then that could create a problem. We'll have to wait and see. Not trying to create any doom or scare scenarios, obviously, because I just don't know yet how that's going to look when the new version comes out. If we're going to have more access to bread, how that's all going to happen. So we'll just have to wait and see. I'm personally really hoping that they address that situation specifically, because they got to kind of unlock our ability to play the game, really. But anyway, I'm not going to ramble on too much longer here. I just wanted to cover this this new content preview stuff, covering, you know, going over the combat and things like that. Sounds very refreshing. I'm looking forward to being able to use different combinations of heroes and not being locked into a 3 to 5 star affinity system. You know, I can see comps where, you know, for one thing you'll have 1 support, maybe 2 wild and 2 poison or 2 frost or something like that, or, you know, who knows how it's going to go yet. We'll just have to wait and see, but it's definitely refreshing because it gives us more ability to be creative in our team compositions, as opposed to right now in Season 4, unless you have Raytai, it's Calavera, Sonarl, Rook, Whisk, and Dargo, you know, and that's the comp. There's nothing else to do for most content at this level, you know, so that's definitely a welcome change. At any rate, I'll end the video here. And please consider, you know, commenting, liking, and subscribing if you found my video useful or information helpful in any way. It really goes a long way to helping my channel grow. And until the next time, thanks.